Hello, welcome. This is SolidWorks for Beginners, Lesson 6. Today we're going to be learning how to draw a metal sheet elbow, and I still remain your instructor, Vincent Ho. Now let's see an example of how it looks like on SolidWorks. This is an example. So let me rotate it a bit so that you can see how it looks like. Okay, so this is how the metal elbow will look like. So let's jump right into it and see how to construct this. So we click File, we click New, and we click Part, and we click OK. So now we are now in SolidWorks. So the first thing we want to do, let's select the front plane. We select the front plane and we click Sketch. Okay, so we have it like this. So the next thing we want to do, we'll go to Sketch menu. We select the center cycle. Select the center cycle. Come to the center of the origin. Click and drag. I think to this size is okay. Click. Then, because we are still constructing this, we select for construction. Then we click OK. So the next thing we're going to do, we click the line tool. Then we select line tool again. Okay, we're here. The line tool, click the line tool. Okay, and we select for construction. And we click from here, click to this point, click to this point, and we click. And we right click and we click select. So we have 2 points, 2 lines we drew for construction purposes. Then we go to the smart dimension. Then we give them smart dimension, click from here, drag. Let's call it 1000 millimeters, press enter. We do the same for here, click, we drag, it's already 1000. We click OK. So we have this and we click OK again. Then we click Trim Entities. The power trim is already selected. We click on this edge here. Okay, so we have removed this edge here completely. Then we click OK. So we have something like this. So let me click the zoom tool, the pan tool, and drag it to a more visible position. Okay, then we take the line tool again. This time we're not going to select for construction. We come to this point here, click at this point somewhere here, click at this point somewhere here, click at this point somewhere here, and the final one, then right click and we click select. Okay, so now we have 4 edges, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines we drew. Now let's make them relate, both of them make 2 of them each pair related. So we click this, hold the shift key, click this, release the shift key, then we select make equal. So they are now equal. Click OK. We click this and we click this and we make them okay. We click this one and hold the shift key, please click this. Okay, we still make them equal to. Then we click OK. Then we are going to make this and this tangent to this curve here. So we click this, hold the shift key, click this. Then we make them, see this option here, make tangents. Okay, it's now close to the line is now tangent to the curve here. And we do same for this. We click this and hold the shift key, click this. Make tangent to. Okay, perfect. Then we click OK. So we have something like this. Now let's rotate it. Then we put click rotate here. Let's rotate a bit so that we see what it looks like. Okay, then right click, click select. Let's zoom up a bit so that we can see where we're coming from. Zoom in and out, zoom up a bit, fine. Then right click, click select. Then we come to top plane. We select top plane now. Then we click sketch. Okay, top plane, let's see how it goes. Okay, this is top plane, click it. So you see how it looks like here. So let me zoom it up a bit, right click, and I click zoom out, up. Okay, we have something like this. Right click, and I click select. So I go back again, top plane. Okay, so we want the top plane to show. Then I click the cycle, and I come somewhere here. I click, I draw the cycle. So this is the cycle. I click, let me click smart dimension. I click the cycle. I click, the cycle is about 9958. Let me make it 1000. Press enter. Okay, this is 1000. Then I click close. Beautiful. Now we're going to make these 2 points coincident. We'll join them together. So I click the first point here. I hold the shift key, click the second point here. I leave the key. Then you see this option here, make coincident. I click it. Then it merges together. Then I click OK. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to create a path. Create an elbow path. So we'll come to features menu. You see this option here, swept boss base. When I click swept boss base, then it will ask me for this option here, which is a profile. I select this cycle here. I click here, that's the profile, sketch. Then it comes to this other point, which means the path. Then I select the line curve. Then you see, ooh la la, it has brought this curve, and I click OK. So you see it how it looks like here. Then let me reduce it so that we can see it better. So I reduce the path. I reduce this. Okay, let me go to zoom to fit. Okay, we have something like this. Okay, now let me rotate a bit so that you can see how it looks like. I rotate it. Beautiful. You see how it looks like now. Okay, so right click and I click select. Then we're still on features menu. I select shell. I want to open up the side. I click shell. Click shell. Then I type how many millimeters of the value. Let me put 1. I leave it at 1 mm, and I click in front of this place. I click show preview. Let me see, do I add a shell downward, outward? Okay, no, I remove the shell outward. Then I click OK. Now if you notice that this shell now, the face has been cut. Let me rotate it so that you can see what I'm saying. Look at the face has been cut. So it's beautiful. So now the next thing to do is to position it in a way that we can cut it. Now we come to this position. Okay, we'll leave it like this. We right click, we click what? Select. Then I click, go to sketch, come to the center tool, center and cycle. Oh no, okay. I come to, let me go back here. Let me select the front plane. Sorry, I go back to this point. I click select the front plane, and I select normal too, so I will have a balanced view. Okay, then before I now go back to select the center cycle, when I select the center cycle, I click from this origin here, I click it, I draw. Now draw here to this point because I want to cut this shape. I click here. Okay, I have a perfect circle at this point. Let me zoom it. Okay, click OK. Let me click OK here, and I zoom so that we can see what exactly we are doing. Let's zoom to fit. Okay, you see zoom to fit here. Then I go to sheet metal, go to extruded cut. When I click extruded cut, you can see here now. Then I click OK. Or before I click OK, let me rotate it and see. I rotate the view, I rotate it, you see how it cuts through. Okay, then I click OK. Now you see that it has been cut at this point. Now let me zoom it so that you can see exactly what has happened. Let me zoom it bigger, make it bigger, bigger, bigger. If you notice now, it has been cut. It has been cut. So that's about that. So let me go back to zoom to fit. Zoom to fit. Okay, it has been cut. So look at it here. Okay, let me use my arrow keys to adjust it properly. Come. Okay, now okay, I think this is okay. Now I right click, click select. Now I'm going to put planes on each, so that because I want to cut each shape. So I click, I go to features menu, I click reference geometry, I select plane, and I click this edge. I want to put a plane here. So they have plane 1 here. I click OK. I go back, reference geometry plane, I select point 2. Sorry, I cancel this again. I go to reference geometry plane, select this point here. Okay, click OK. Reference geometry plane. So I click this point. It's not going. I click cancel here. Click outside. Click reference geometry again. Plane. I click this point. Good. And I click OK. So I have 3 points here that have been what you call it, have been given a plane cut. Now the next thing, we're going to cut each one of them. So there's a menu here called direct editing. Look at it here. If you cannot find it, you right click and activate it. Look at it here, direct editing. If I deactivate it, it's not available now. So I have to activate it. I click direct editing. So I click direct editing. You see the option here, this option here, this icon says split. I click split. If I click split, then it will ask me to trim which planes am I trimming. So I click plane 1. It's already showing here plane 1, plane 3 is already selected. Click plane 2. So you have 3 planes already selected. You get it? Then I click cut parts. If I click cut parts, all the parts are now showing. Then I select it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Are we following? Then I think we leave every other option like this and we click OK. So each of this part has been cut. Now the next thing is to make these planes. We do not need the planes again, so we can click on it and hide it. Click on it and hide it. Click on it and hide it. Now, beautiful. So the next thing now is to cut each part. Now, so what we're going to do, we come to this option here, solid bodies. Select the option solid bodies, select split 1. If we select split 1, you get it. We'll now go right click it. Then you see this option, insert into a new path. If I click insert into a new path, okay, then I select this option of split. Okay, select the option. Then the next thing I do, I will have to save this new part. I will click save. Okay, let me cut, or just click OK here. If I click OK here, it will ask me, do you want to save the options? I will say yes. If I say yes, you look for the appropriate folder you want to save. So I already have my own on SolidWorks, so let me call it elbow part 1. Click save. Now this part alone has been cut out to be saved. Now the next thing I need to do is to rotate the view. Let me rotate the view or zoom it, then rotate. Click rotate view. Okay, so that we can see, you see where the cut is. Right click and what? Select. Now we have to bend it. So let's go to features menu. Under features menu, okay, or let me go to sheet metal. Under sheet metal, I select this option here, insert bends. So I click insert bends, then and I click this edge here. I click it. You can see it says what? Edge 1, and you can see it's on blue. Then I click OK. You will see the option why it is going to be bent. We want to flatten the object. So it's already ready for flattening. Then I come to the option under sheet metal and I click flatten. When I click flatten, you can see it has been cut open into a sheet metal format. Let me pan it and drag it to a position you can see. So this is this is how it looks like now. Let me zoom it out so that you can see how it looks like. Well, now this is exactly what you cut and feed into the sheet metal. If I right click it and I go to sketch and I go to smart dimensions, I can put dimension for each. This one now, I click this one. Okay, let me click this function here. Okay, smart dimension, click this portion. Okay, it's not coming out directly here. Smart dimension, I click this portion, I draw. Okay, it's not allowing me to do that on this. Okay, what we'll do now, let's save it. Let's first save it. Okay, let's come to this point. We save it, make it a drawing from part assembly. Let's save it. So let's save this. This will enable us, okay, generate an e-drawing for it. Let's select A3, okay, and we click OK. We click OK, it generates an e-drawing for that part. Look at the different dimensions here. So let me take the bottom. I click this, right click and bring it to this point on the e-drawing. Then I can I press escape. Okay, so let me go to the view layout or view layout under the sheet 1. Okay, the drawing is visible here. Then let me save it as a DXS file. DX file, I click save and click save all. So let's save it as it's a drawing file or a DX file. Then click save. When I save, then when I select my sketch, my smart dimension, if I click on this point, it should be able to give me, okay, see my dimensions are coming out now. Yes, my dimensions are coming out now. Okay, it's not doing dimensions for, so you can give each area a particular dimension. Look at this point here. We'll zoom it later and see. If we come back here, click this point, this view palette, we take another side of it. Let's take, which side do we take now? We can take this side, click it and drag it so you can see it on different dimensions. So click OK, click smart dimension. Any of the areas you want the dimensions will come out. Now this dimension is not coming out, so it's measuring only this. So we click OK. So we can have the e-drawing here. So we have saved it. The e-drawing, click Save All. We call it Able Part 1. Click Save. That is for the e-drawing. Okay, Part 1. Click Save again. Beautiful. So now let's come back to the elbow. Okay, no, this is the previous diagram we had. Let's come back to where we are before. This is where we are before. Okay, so now this is the view layout. This is the annotation, the sketch evaluation. So let's close this option here. We close it. So let's go back to our what we have done so far. We are starting back our SolidWorks. It's loading. So this is where we are. We click, this is what the diagram we drew. So we can repeat this process for each of the parts. So if we want this section, we come back here and click Solid Objects. It will select Split 2 or Split 3 or Split 4. If we are taking this top here, which is the Split 4, we right click it. We come to Insert New Part, into New Part. Then we click OK. Then you call it Elbow Part 2 or any name you decide to give it. Click Save. Then you rotate it. Come to this point. Okay, so this is the roll view. The rotate view. Rotate here, fine. Right click, select. We'll now go to Sheet Metal, go to Insert Bend, click this option here. You see the edge is selected. Then we click OK. Then we click Flatten. When we flatten it, it comes out as a flat sheet. Let's zoom to fit. Then let's rotate the view. Rotate the view to an appropriate view. Select. We can select front plane or top plane to normal or front plane. Sketch. Take it to normal. Fine. So okay, on Ctrl Z, let's give it in a better place. It will look better. So right click, let's rotate the view. Okay, select zoom to fit. Okay, fine. Let's make it to look in the order that we will like it better. Okay, it's rotating. Okay, now let's see it on e-drawing. We come to e-drawing. So we go to 3D views, make it an e-drawing. Click OK. I like to make it e-drawing so that we can see how it looks like on different sites. We were using rotate, but it's not coming out as I wanted. So let's go to the play animate so that we can generate it properly. Then click play animation and click play. Okay, so this is how it will look like finally. So you can see how you can generate an elbow from a drawing and cut it into different sheet metal parts that you can feed into the CNC machine and cut it out as it ought to be. So that is the lecture for you today. So remember where we started from. We started from drawing an elbow. So my name remains Vincent Hope, your instructor for this 6th lesson. So if you have any questions, any observations, and anything that you want us to look at, please feel free to drop your comments, like, and share this video. Thank you